So Fox host Greg Gutfeld made the argument that Donald Trump is more anti-establishment than Bernie Sanders. This is a special kind of stupid. I notice I have the wrong fucking thing behind me. Let's see if I can find the right one as we talk here. Greg Gutfeld. That's not Greg Gutfeld. And Greg Gutfeld. There he is. Anyway, where was I? He thinks he's a comedian. I'm not sure who's less funny. Greg Gutfeld or Steven Crowder? That's a close one. That's like the best unfunny off on the planet. Pretty sure even people who have never once in their life tried to be funny are funnier than both of these losers. So anyway, here he is. He's going to make this horrendously stupid point. Take a look.
Sometimes the truth comes from the most surprising places. Look what just fell out of the mouth of an old socialist. In a recent interview, Bernie Sanders said the Democrats selecting Joe Biden as a nominee will be making the same blunder they did with Hillary. Remember, she lost, then blamed the Russians and wandered in the woods for a month. Bernie bashed 3 of Biden's stances that he shared with Hillary, that he voted for NAFTA and permanent normalized trade relations with China and the war in Iraq. These positions, say Bernie, won't rally young people, working people, or people of color. So Bernie's saying that the winning candidate should be against NAFTA, be against normalized trade with China, and the war in Iraq. If that's the case, Bernie just endorsed Trump for a second term. It's amazing. I mean, I get it. Bernie thought he was talking about himself, since most people aren't. But in staking out that turf, he just admitted he wants what Trump said he wants. Now, Bernie, in case you're napping, Trump already blew up NAFTA. He's challenged China, and he's denounced recent foreign wars. Sure, Bernie may be casting himself as the outsider looking to unseat the establishment, but he's way too late. The establishment is the pack of left-wing libs worshiping at the feet of AOC and the New York Times editorial board. The real outsider right now is already in the White House. It's kind of obvious.
Oh. That's so dumb, it hurt to listen to. I love how he lumped together Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and the New York Times editorial board. That's how deep his understanding of the left goes. He's like, yeah, that's the establishment. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and the New York Times editorial board. First of all, the left beats up on the New York Times editorial board all the time. All the time. They get stuff wrong nonstop. Okay? Second of all, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is the establishment. She beat corrupt Joe Crowley. When he outraised her like 10-1, she only took small dollar donations, and she was running on a platform that the establishment, it's the last thing the establishment would ever want to see implemented. Medicare for all, free college, living wage, ending the wars, Green New Deal, so on and so forth. She's the establishment? She's despised by the establishment. Stop it, Greg. Just stop it. Okay, now, here's the thing. I don't know. Does he really believe this? Or is he just making the argument? But when he says, like, come on, man, the establishment hates Trump. Okay, that tax bill, they couldn't have imagined in their wildest dreams. That's exactly what they wanted. Every piece of that tax bill is like you got in a room with all of the CEOs of the multinational corporations, and they told you word for word what to put down on the page, and you did, and you passed it, and they love you for it. Okay? Don't give me this nonsense, man. Don't give me this bullshit of like, oh, the establishment is against Trump. Really? Go talk to the military-industrial complex. How they doing? Go talk. Look at what's happening with the stock market. Not a reflection of how your average worker is doing, a reflection of how the rich are doing, and a reflection of how corporations are doing. So the establishment loves him. The only thing they don't like are the mean tweets. That's it. Everything else they love about him. Now, to get more specific, even the examples he gives, he goes, oh, Bernie says you should be against NAFTA, you should be against permanent normal trade relations with China, you should have been against the war in Iraq. Dude, Donald Trump replaced NAFTA with NAFTA 2.0, which is basically NAFTA. Now, I've done the segment. I went through it with a fine-tooth comb. The deal is overwhelmingly similar. In some very minor ways, it's better, but in more ways, it's worse. So don't give me this like, oh, Yeah, man, he's fighting the establishment by replacing one shitty trade deal with another shitty trade deal. And on the China trade point, like, okay, yeah, Trump is sometimes takes a protectionist approach on trade. But the details matter, you dipshit. If he wants to spark a trade war, everybody's worse off. Now, if you want to be intelligent in how you implement tariffs and you want to negotiate and get good trade deals, that's a different story. But he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Nobody would argue he knows what the fuck he's doing. If you actually look at what's happened in a lot of these industries he's trying to help with his tariffs, he's actually hurt those industries. Now, there are a few minor industries where there's been an uptick because it helped. But in more industries than not, the tariffs hurt. So he's not going about it the right way. Just because you philosophically might have a position that's correct doesn't mean that the implementation of it made sense, because it didn't. He botched it a zillion ways, which shouldn't be surprising from somebody who fucking has an administration of people who don't even believe in this philosophy. And also, Trump himself is a shitty negotiator and businessman. He went bankrupt 6 times, so he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's botching this 1,000 ways to Sunday. And finally, on the Iraq war. Good point, Greg, which is why Donald Trump pulled us out of Iraq. Oh, he didn't. That's right. He didn't pull us out of Iraq. Not even close. He didn't pull us out of Iraq. He didn't pull us out of Afghanistan. He didn't pull us out of anywhere. All he's done is escalate. All he's done is double down. All he's done is move in a more hawkish direction. We're permanently in Syria. Permanently. He tweeted like a month or two back, like, we're getting out of Afghanistan. And then we didn't. So he's ineffectual at best, a liar at worst. That's the reality of the situation. So I know you're big on your whole, like, rah, rah, Trump, I'm a little bitch. But, you got to at least be accurate. And you're not. It's fine if you get things right and then you disagree with me. That's totally fine. I can take that. I'm a big boy. But no, you're just wrong on the facts. So no, I can't take that. I'm going to mock you for it because you're an idiot. And also, you're not even close to funny.